A brand new season is beginning today in our Pirates rebuild, and optimism for this team is as high as it has ever been. The Pirates are considered one of the top teams in baseball, and if there's ever going to be a team that can finally dethrone the Dodgers this year, it's probably going to be us. I still think I would definitely take the Dodgers if I were a betting man over our team, especially with the additions of Marte and Ramirez in the offseason, which was absolutely insane. But there is no doubt about it that our Pirates rebuild has gone very well in the first 4 years, and we're starting to see the team come together. We did get one minor injury in spring with Bubba Chandler, but I think he'll be ready to start by the time he's up in the pitching rotation. I moved him down to the fifth spot just to give him a little bit more time to heal. But anyway, when you take a look here at our Year 5 team, in terms of the offense, not a lot's going to change. I think really the only guy that's out of our lineup is Spencer Horwitz, who, of course, was not retained in free agency. We're allowing Albert Sweeney to take over that full-time first base role after a really impressive rookie season that had him kind of switching off between playing some first base and also DHing for us. Taking over his role as our full-time DH will be Brian Reynolds, who had what was an insane year at age 33 last year, hitting, 17 more home runs than he'd ever hit in a previous season of his career. I am a little worried that at age 34 he could start to regress here, especially because I'm not exactly sure what his potential is, but a season of that caliber can certainly cause your ratings to overshoot your potential. So he might start going back down unless he can, not replicate this year. It's not going to happen, but unless he can, have another really strong season. Center field's going to stay the same, and then Buford Kingman will take over the Brian Reynolds role in left field. Other than that, pretty much going to be the same thing for our offense. Just a couple of shifts here. We'll see Kingman have his rookie season. It won't be his MLB debut today, as he did take 58 at-bats last season, hit a couple home runs, and made a very strong first impression. Probably should have watched his debut, if I'm being honest, but we didn't. But we'll get to see him play for the first time on the Major League squad here in this episode. Where we're going to have a lot more changes is in our pitching staff. Starters, not as much. We are just going to be replacing Jesus Luzardo with Thomas Coyle, who will make his MLB debut in this episode. A very exciting submarine pitcher that hopefully will be a long-term fixture in the Pirates rotation from this year on out. Very excited to see him pitch in the majors for the first time. But we are going to see a lot of young players in the bullpen here. Majinski and Waylock are guys that are returning for us, but Bob Gomez is going to be pitching for us for the first time at the major league levels after a couple of solid years development down below. Same for Fernando Terrero, who at 22 years old will be on the major league squad, as well as Richard Lynn. Two lefties out of the three young guns that will be playing for the first time at the major league level. We had to get cheaper somewhere in the offseason, decided kind of that the bullpen would take over for that because we had to save some room for, of course, Emmanuel Clase, who was the big-time acquisition of the season, signing him for 3 years to be the closer for the short term of the Pirates. I was really concerned heading into the playoffs that Jojo Romero was our closer, and he just was kind of struggling every time we hopped in and watched the game. I'm not concerned about that at all with a pitcher of the caliber of Emmanuel Clase. Turns out Jojo Romero didn't really matter in the playoffs because our offense was just so bad. But I think if there's any holes on this team, it might be our bullpen apart from Clase. Majinski was really solid last year. But other than that, not a ton of experience in our bullpen. Like I said, we had to choose somewhere to stay cheap, and all our like long-term and middle relievers is where we decided to stay cheap on this team. Could come back to haunt us, but I'm hoping it doesn't. We got a lot of young players who hopefully get a lot of great upgrades, and before you know it, they'll be looking more kind of in the upper 70s by the time the season is done and we're heading towards the playoffs. But only time will tell. In terms of where we rank in the league in various categories, overall we're ranked as the second best team in baseball this year, I imagine just behind the Dodgers. We are 9th in contact, 3rd in power, 3rd in pitching, 5th in speed, and 14th defensively. I'm kind of honestly surprised that we're above average defensively. I think switching from Reynolds to Kingman in the outfield certainly will help with that. I think we have a couple of really nice arms now in those corner outfield spots, which will hopefully help shore up our defense this season. But with that, let's get opening day underway for Season 5. This year, the Pirates kick off their season going against the Rays and will also be on the road to start Year 5. The Rays are not a particularly great team, so I expect a win here today. The Pirates have some lofty expectations, hoping to, I think, surpass the 100 win mark. I mean, we were at 99 last year, and a lot of our core is still young and improving, and so I'm hoping we can improve on that record. It was a bit of a surprise. I thought we'd be good last year. Didn't know if we'd be 99 wins good, but again, this is the start of the biggest expectation-filled season of the rebuild so far. On the mound for the Rays for opening day will be Shane Baz, who is coming off a year in which he really struggled. He is the highest rated player on the entire Rays team at an 84 overall. And the Pirates are hoping to make some easy work here. Despite being on the road, hitting leadoff once again is Billy Fink to kick off the season. Was one of the best players in the entire National League last season, and he's going to get his season off to a great start right away on the first pitch. In for an extra base hit. And a runner is instantly in scoring position. Brian Reynolds. Insane year last year. Going to start this one with a strikeout. Digging in the dirt. A nice pitch by Baz. His pronines aren't all that impressive, but he has really good control, so we'll have to see if he can get some of these right on the edge of the zone, like that one there, but Jazz Chisholm gets it through the infield anyway, and that's going to score Billy Fink. Missed Jazz Chisholm in the last, well, I guess not technically last episode, as last episode was the offseason, but the last gameplay episode. Missed having him in the lineup. He's always been so good, not only in sim, but he also just usually does so well for us in spotlight games as well. Stealing himself second base here with Sweeney up to the plate, swiping at the circle change inside. Second strikeout already for Baz. Robles, once again hitting in the middle of the order. I thought about giving him the number 2 spot in the rotation this year, after coming off, a pretty good season average-wise last year, but I just liked keeping kind of the rotation, and by rotation I mean lineup, where it was last year because it worked so well for us. Of course, as he has been every single opening day so far of the rebuild, and likely will be for every opening day of the rebuild, Paul Skenes on the mound. Had a really strong season last year, going sub-3 ERA, but he allows a base hit here from Michael Piedra, one of the draft picks of the Rays so far in the series. He's got some nice stealing abilities, and he gets into scoring position here. 0-1 pitch. He's going again, and just like that, he's in third. from a single to third base in a blink of an eye, pretty much. Now Garrett Hampson is going to ground out, but it's still going to tie this game up. Nice job by Michael Piedra, putting in some work on the base paths. Junior Caminero hitting in the 3 spot for the Rays. Swinging a miss on a curveball right at that lower edge of the zone. A 1 pitch lifted to left. New man playing there this season. Buford Kingman gloves it to end the inning. Hitting in the 6th spot for us is David Yan, and that's a great pitch there by Shane Bass, getting him to look at the circle change. First at bat we were going to see of Buford Kingman. Cracks one deep left. Backing out of here for the first home run of season 5. Now that's a first impression by Buford Kingman. 105 miles an hour off the bat. He gives the Pirates back the lead. You gotta love it from Buford Kingman. Going to be one of a couple of players making their first appearance in a spotlight game on the Pirates roster. As I said previous, not his MLB debut though, but his debut of us seeing him in a Pirates uniform. And like I said, great first impression. 2 gone here for Jared Triolo. He's going to get first crack at second base this year, but we've got Termarr Johnson on the big league roster as well. And I think he certainly is worthy of playing that second base as well. So we're going to have to kind of see what happens there. Jared Triolo is going to be somebody that will have to monitor his production to see if he should retain that spot. Nice pitch. Getting Xavier Isaac out looking for the second punch out of the game for Paul Skenes. Full count for DePaula here. And that's going to be back-to-back Ks for Paul Skenes. Has a man in scoring position, but hopefully going to be able to get out of the inning here unscathed. Hit going up against the 8th hitter here. Espinal gets it through the infield. Triolo unable to glove it. And the runner scores. We're back even at 2 apiece now here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 0-2 for Jefferson Coyle, and that is 3 strikeouts in the inning for Paul Skenes. But the game is tied at 2 apiece. 3 runs also. Sorry, 3 hits on either side. Reynolds struck out in his first at-bat. This time, going to leg out a single. Right back up the middle of the infield. Jazz up next. 1-2. Swinging well outside the zone. Just going to stay fair. And the force out at second's not going to work. So they're going to give Jazz a base hit. Probably would have just gone to first there myself, but we're going to get lucky there. Off the glove of Isaac, and still going to beat Sweeney to the bag. But now 2 runners in scoring position for Victor Robles, one of our highest clutch hitters. He's got a 1-0 pitch incoming. High and tight, but it drops down in the outfield for a base hit. It's going to score 2. Robles picking up his first RBIs of the season here. Not the most impressive of hits, but it puts the Pirates back on top. Yan struck out on a tough circle change. Last time in 3 pitches. This time, not going to be 3 pitches, but it's another strikeout. Shane Bass has done a pretty good job racking up Ks against our lineup here. Skenes allows another single here to Michael Piedra. Not too dissimilar from the one he had in the first inning. He immediately stolen to third base, so we're going to be looking out for that again this time. The throw from Jan is going to get there in time. Great accuracy on that one. And this time, Piedra caught stealing. Caminero jammed up inside. Got a decent amount of depth on this ball, but Robles gloves it. Skenes. Another inning without allowing a run here. Joe Adele, that gets past the diving glove. Over at third base, should be extras for him. Now in an expiring contract season. What to do with him long term will largely hinge on what he does this season. He still's into third now. Sacrifice territory here for Jared Triolo. This handled over at second, and he's out. But another run crosses home plate for Pittsburgh. Getting some fist bumps for bringing it home. Fink got us started today with a double. 1 for 2. And now he's going yard. Fink, yeah, baby, as the Pirates have extended their lead 6-2 now. It's only a matter of time before Fink got his first home run of the new season. Glad we were able to see it here on opening day. Also homered in opening day last season, if I'm not mistaken. Can't leave a curveball hanging against Billy Fink. That is for certain. Way too talented a hitter. Some of these kind of projections that you see at the bottom of the screen have been talking about Fink and how he's projected to once again be one of the best players in the National League. And he's had a great opening day. That home run allowed will be the end of the day for Shane Baz as well, and Bobby Miller allows a single here to Brian Reynolds with 2 outs here at top of the 4th. Jazz gets a decent pitch to hit, but underneath it, a lazy fly. Handled easily. And we're into the bottom of the 4th. Skenes ahead of Kepler here, 2-0-2 on the count, and that is painted low in the zone. Gets him looking for the 5th strikeout of the day. Once again ahead 0-2. Can he go back-to-back punch-outs? Not going to happen this time, but another clean inning for Paul Skenes. The Pirates retain their lead. Albert Sweeney deep to left field at the wall, but handled. Almost got ourselves another home run aboard. Would have been, of course, the 3rd of the game. Robles. 2-run single earlier in the game. Diving play is not going to be made in time. So he's back on base here for David Yan. Right over the middle. And he's going to ground into a double play. Not the opening day David Yan was hoping for. At least offensively, he did get the assist there, getting Piedra out stealing, though. So he's doing his job over there defensively, at least. Make it 6 strikeouts on the night here now for Skenes in the 5th. 2-2 pitch is singled up the middle by Santiago Espinal. Tampa Bay hasn't scored in a while. Looking to change that here. The bottom of their lineup. 1-2 pitch is a 5-4-3 double play. We get them back for getting us in a double play earlier. And Skenes continues to have a great outing here on opening day. 5 hits allowed, but the Pirates have doubled them up here with 10. We're going to keep with the pitching after a very uneventful offensive inning. And Skenes is going to allow a single here to Garrett Hampson with 1 gone. Here in the 6th, trying to get that quality start aboard here. But Junior Caminero also going to reach here. with a hit that gets into the outfield. Now runners on the corners with one gone. This was like a 10-pitch at-bat. Ends up getting Smith down with the sweeper. His 7th strikeout, but at 90 pitches, that's going to be the end of the opening day here. And we're going to see Richard Lynn come in for the first time. The force out at second gets him gone. Bottom of the 7th now. Brian Reynolds has a full count. Fastball high. He stays patient and reaches first base. That'll bring up Jazz. That's a nice hit deep to that center field gap and off the wall. That should score Brian Reynolds. Jazz going for 3 here, and he just beats the throw. An RBI triple for Jazz Chisholm. Oh, man, I am so glad to have him back. I know I said it in the first inning, but I missed him in the lineup in that playoff episode. I don't know if one player would have been enough to make the difference, but I feel like he's been so consistently good in spotlight games. You're never going to have, a good game every single time we hop into a ball game, but it feels like he's one of our most consistent contributors in spotlight games. We're going to fast forward to the 9th now, as it hasn't been much action after that RBI from Jazz Chisholm, and we're going to see another Pittsburgh Pirate make their MLB debut today. Not a save situation, so no need to bring out Emmanuel Clase. Instead, we're going to let a guy make his MLB debut to try to finish this game off. He gets his first strikeout right away. Chopper now to third. Jazz makes the throw across the diamond just in time. And we're 1 out away from an opening day victory here. Going against Espinal. Lifted to right, and the Pirates are victorious once again on we might as well call it Victory Day at this point. Feels like we're always coming out on top on opening day. But a good start here to what promises to be a strong season in Pittsburgh. We got to see a few guys playing that Pirates jersey for the first time, but that is not the only thing I wanted to do here in this episode, as there is an even bigger MLB debut than guys like Richard Lynn and Bob Gomez. I'm talking about Thomas Coyle. I've got to see him pitch and make his MLB debut today. He is still the number 1 prospect in the MLB rankings. That won't last for long, as he is, of course, no longer going to be a prospect for much longer. But here's a quick update as to what our top prospect list looks like. A bunch of pitchers other than Robert Eckert, which is kind of funny to see. This one is going to be almost taken yard by Nico Horner, but nice job running it down by Buford Kingman. Fellow rookie making a play for him. This Twins lineup is not an easy team to make your MLB debut against. Every single year they have made great moves in the offseason. And one of those moves all the way back in the first offseason was Vladimir Guerrero, who pops one in for an infield fly, handled by Fink for the second out. Can we get through the first inning here unscathed, going against Ryan Jefferson, another guy that they signed early on in this franchise. And there you have it, a strikeout to end the inning. Twins frustrated that they weren't able to get anything out of the inning, but you'll love to see it from the Pirates' perspective, of course, getting pinched there for ball 4. But we make up for it with a 4-6-3 double play right after it. Royce Lewis unable to get solid contact on that ball, and that's what we're hoping here for a guy like Thomas Coyle, that his unorthodox delivery can continue to fool hitters up at the major leagues like it did at the minors last season. What a changeup. Painted on that lower inside corner. A perfect pitch for strike 3. Pirates have gotten a couple of runs aboard here. We're getting a bit of run support. Top of the 3rd, Emmanuel Rodriguez up to bat. That's going to be down for a hit. Single on the board here to start the inning for the Twins. That brings up Spencer Steer. That's going to be another base knock. Maybe a little bit lucky there, reaching on a pitch outside the zone, but 2 on. Can Coyle get out of a jam here to start the inning? 3-6. 1 double play, the second so far of his outing. Making the play, covering the bag to finish it up as well. Good stuff from Thomas Coyle, and now we just need one more out to get out of this mini jam that he had to start the inning. McCarthy lifts it, and Adele snags it in center. Great response from Coyle. Going against the top of the order. Once more now, Guerrero flies out over to left. That'll bring up Ryan Jeffers. He has been hitting terribly to start the season, and I just had to say it, didn't I? I mean, he was hitting 077. But homers here, breaking up what was an awesome first career start here. No longer has a chance at it being a shutout. But still, of course, very strong stuff here. And he's got a couple of runs here. Still in the lead, but right after that, Matt Wallner is going to reach in for a extra base hit. Can he avoid getting another run allowed here by Minnesota? Lewis grounded into a double play his first at bats. The runner holds at second here. 2 gone in the inning for Carlos Correa. That pitch high in the zone, lifted deep to left. Kingman giving chase, and he got there. Kingman doing his fellow rookie a solid a couple of times, getting some of these deep fly balls over and left. Slider gets Rodriguez to chase in the dirt. 3rd punch out of the game. Spencer Steer up, and that is an even better pitch than the last one that he got for a strikeout. I mean, holy. Some great commands shown off with some of these strikeouts here. But it's back up to the top of the order. This one hit almost right at Kingman. And we're through the 5th now. Still only 1 run allowed for Coyle. Going to get through 1 more here. He doesn't have the best stamina. It's sitting at a 73, so you're not going to see him go super late in the ball games. It's kind of the norm that we've had here. We don't have the guys that are going to go 8 innings. Oh, what a play! Chisholm dives, making the catch, and then makes the throw on top of it. That's the kind of defense a pitcher loves to see. Keeping his strong outing looking great. Jeffers, the only run aboard for Minnesota in the game. Not going to do so again. 6 innings, 1 run allowed for Thomas Coyle in his MLB debut. That would be the end of it, as the Pirates would pick up a victory. And that is what I wanted to show you all here to start off Season 5 for our Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. We'll be seeing a whole lot more of this team throughout the season. I think we have some intriguing storylines to follow for sure. And we'll have plenty more action coming up in the very near future. That's all I've got for the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back soon with another. And until then, let's go Bucks.